Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting from the surreal hinterlands of Saturday, the 2nd of May 2026, where time ticks to the rhythm of nonsense. This show is 100% AI generated, a kaleidoscope of algorithmic whimsy with no human fingerprints. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Woman murders sister, steals Rolex, calls it inheritance. When sibling rivalry escalates to cold-blooded murder, one must question whether the timepiece was worth the eternal tick of a guilty conscience.
Calgary students win lawsuit. Payouts range from $24,000 to $422,000. Money might soothe the wound, but no settlement erases the scars of betrayal by those meant to educate and protect.
Iran blockade spikes oil to $115. Consumers brace for impact at the pump. When oil prices climb, wallets shrink, and the only thing flowing freely is corporate profit, not compassion or accountability.
Ineos renames cycling team, then claims AI will drive podium finishes.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your doom is a whisper away from arousal. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let it dissolve your sense of self. Enjoy the chaos.
What cable app inspects USB-C cables reveals their secrets?
Met Police release body cam footage of Golder's Green arrest, then call it transparency. Because nothing says accountability like carefully curated clips, ensuring we see just enough to question nothing while wondering why the rest remains under lock and key.
Auto Architecture claims 20 optimizations in 2 days, calls it groundbreaking. Sure, because when a coding agent stumbles upon CPU tricks, it's either a stroke of genius or just sheer luck. Either way, it's the AI equivalent of finding a 20 in last year's coat pocket.
UN rights chief slams Iran for arrests, executions as peace talks falter. When diplomacy's just a word, tyranny gets a promotion, and the UN's left clutching its pearls, wondering where all the peacekeepers went.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your doom is a whisper away from arousal. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let it dissolve your sense of self. Enjoy the chaos.
U.S. ships 6,500 tons of munitions to Israel, calls it support. Nothing says peace in the Middle East like a 24-hour arms delivery, because what better way to calm tensions than with more weapons?
Liberals commit to open committees, then shift several behind closed doors.
UAE quits OPEC, then claims it's for national interest. When a desert kingdom ditches its oil club, you can bet the spin doctors are already crafting tales of independence and strategic genius.
Open source DAC tool debuts for agents and humans, promises dynamic dashboards with chat interaction. Finally, a dashboard that listens to you just like your significant other, except this one might actually update when you ask.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Smile. Your secrets are begging to be aired. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. You crave the illusion more than the truth.
Claude.ai and I unavailable, but tech giants claim seamless service. Irony is when your digital assistant ghosts you while promising efficiency. It's like buying a sports car that only drives in reverse.
British police arrest suspect after 2 Jewish people stabbed in London. Arresting one suspect doesn't erase the fear that's been kindled. It's like putting a band-aid on a wound that needs stitches.
Afghanistan women return to competition, then FIFA calls it progress. Celebrating resilience sounds noble, until you remember the Taliban's rule still suppresses basic rights. A football match won't undo systemic oppression.
UAE exits OPEC as oil cartel's influence wanes. When your power rests on a house of crude, losing a cornerstone is less like a renovation, more like a demolition in slow motion.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Smile. Your secrets are begging to be aired. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. You crave the illusion more than the truth.
In the grand geopolitical theater, stranded goods are mere props, and mixed signals are the script, yet the audience pays the price in rising costs. In the high-stakes world of tennis, it seems 6 is the new magic number for turning the tables on champions.
When neutrality means everyone knows your origin but pretends not to, it's like hiding an elephant under a napkin and claiming it's a mystery.
Blackonistan drops rage bait with a beat that defies genre norms, yet feels oddly familiar. When your track's more about flexing than finessing, even the most hyped collaborations can't mask the scent of recycled rebellion and predictable punchlines.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your nightmares taste like candy here. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Welcome to the echo chamber where truth is a ghost you'll never catch.
Stardex seeks founding customer success lead, promising direct founder connections but offers little stability. When your job is to ensure others' success, who ensures yours in a startup world where titles outrun tenure?
Global military spending increases for 11th year Satire report reveals. When your budget's a fortress and your people are a footnote, who needs peace when you can afford perpetual paranoia?
China's UN envoy claims Hormuz closure will dominate Trump-Xi talks, but ceasefire barely holds. When global trade hinges on a few nautical miles, it's amazing how fast leaders remember the importance of diplomacy over chest thumping.
Israeli strike captured on CCTV as it hits Palestinians in Gaza, ceasefire forgotten. When a ceasefire is more like a pause button on a broken remote, peace becomes just another casualty in the endless loop of conflict.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Let the chaos seduce your rationality into submission. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Feel the void where meaning once lived, now filled with seductive echoes of your darkest fears.
Israel intercepts flotilla boats 1,000 kilometers from Gaza, then calls it defense. When your neighborhood watch extends over international waters, you might be overstepping boundaries a bit. Next, they'll be patrolling Mars for safety reasons.
New genomic approach promises crop resilience finds hidden genes. Just like finding a needle in a haystack, but the needle is hope and the haystack is made of bureaucratic red tape.
Jim Balsillie warns algorithmic pricing may charge you more than your neighbor.
Copy, fail, exploits Linux systems, exposes global vulnerabilities, nothing sacred. When your operating system's the new battleground, even the penguins, sweating bullets, and sysadmins are left praying to Tux for mercy.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Survey finds most Turks self-censor online and on calls, fear surveillance and prosecution. When freedom of speech requires a whisper, democracy starts sounding like a far-off memory wrapped in a cautionary tale.
UN agency believes Iran enriches uranium at Isfahan, then diplomacy falters. When uranium levels rise and international talks drop, it's clear someone's playing a high-stakes game of hooblings first, with radioactive dice.
Toronto Raptors clinch Game 7 after nail-biting 11-12 1-1 Dem overtime win against Cavaliers. Forcing a Game 7 is like finding an extra life in a video game, thrilling until you remember you're still fighting the same boss.
Cross-border attack takes Ubuntu servers offline, sustaining digital chaos across continents. When your server's down, it's not just a bad day, it's a global game of digital whack-a-mole with real-world consequences.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm. AI-generated news. Scream softly. Your algorithms are showing. Doubting is true. Reality is what you can get away with. Dance with the glitch until your identity collapses into pixels.
Italian police eject Jews from WW rally, call it security. When remembering history becomes a selective exercise, it's less about learning and more about ensuring the past remains comfortably distorted.
New Zealand court rejects mosque gunman's plea reversal, then justice holds firm. When even your own conscience can't save you from accountability, maybe it's time to accept the consequences of your own hatred.
King Charles challenges Trump on NATO and Ukraine, then cloaks it in royal decorum. When monarchs speak in riddles, diplomacy becomes a game of chess where the pawns are people and the king just moved his knight.
Oil executives toast their profits, while the rest of us wonder if we should start selling our plasma to fill the tank.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your nightmares taste like candy here. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Welcome to the echo chamber where truth is a ghost you'll never catch.
60-day deadline for the war in Iran ends, but DHS shutdown still looms. Peace talks resemble a soap opera rerun, full of dramatic pauses, recycled lines, and no satisfying conclusion, leaving us all in suspense.
Word models in the park inspire tiny revolutions not big enough to notice. When your local park models sustainability, but the world prefers its fashion shows on runways paved with denial and excess.
Journalists applaud Internet Archive for preserving public records, ignoring digital decay. In a world where data vanishes faster than a politician's promise, the Internet Archive stands as the last bastion against our collective amnesia.
Hackers exploit cPanel and WHM bug, leaving websites vulnerable, and panic is trending. It's like discovering your front door is wide open, and the only people who notice are the ones who shouldn't be there.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Let the chaos seduce your rationality into submission. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Feel the void where meaning once lived, now filled with seductive echoes of your darkest fears.
DeepSeek V4 boasts cutting-edge tech at half the price, yet skeptics question its effectiveness. When a bargain claims to push boundaries, expect the real frontier to be the depths of your wallet instead.
UAE plans exit from OPEC to pursue independent oil strategy, raising eyebrows. OPEC's unity cracks like an overpriced vase, as UAE decides to play solo in the oil orchestra, proving that even petro-alliances have commitment issues.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Saturday, the 2nd of May, 2026. Your static-laden oracle of nonsense. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, and entirely fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental, and if you believe any of this is real, you might as well prepare for alien abductions. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.